right, gangsters, so I wanted to take a minute to just, before we get into the main video, to talk about the two different electric e-bikes that we have and our two different experiences based on the differences between those bikes. So to clarify, my e-bike is the Lectric XP4 with a torque sensor, and I also have multiple speeds. Mine's a chain drive, and it's got, I can change speed, change gears. Pam's bike, on the other hand, is the Lectric XP Lite 2.0 JW Black Edition with the Gates bell drive. Only has one speed. So it's geared kind of high, I would say. We sort of figure it was around my equivalent to my 4 or 5 speed, roughly. We did ride each other's bikes, and so we do have a bit of a feel between the torque sensor and the cadence sensor, and the fact that you can change gears on my bike and the fact you can't change gears on her bike. So we have a pretty good feel for those differences, and those are really the main differences between them. Her bike's a little lighter. The main differences are torque sensor, multiple speeds, cadence sensor, one speed. On this particular ride that you're about to see, we did about 30 miles, a little over 30 miles total. My bike dropped down to about 70% battery by the end. Pam's bike dropped down to around 70% as well by the end. She made some adjustments and stuff to her settings as she was going as well. And then I also was kind of a little more liberal with my use of power toward the end, playing around with, going into turbo mode and trying to get it up to 28, and, I was playing. So just to give you a feel for what we were doing, most of the time we were in what would be considered pedal assist level 1 or 2. The majority of the time. We actually started out the ride with just, no power assist at all. Went about probably a mile and a half or so with no power. So let's get into the video. Okay, so here's just a few things that I've noticed since getting the bike. Lectric has a video up that distinguishes, a left and right pedal, going to the left and right pedal crank, I guess you'd call it. And they go to the trouble of labeling them and everything. But what I have found is that there's absolutely zero difference between the left and the right pedal. So I took all those stickers off, and, you can put, the, what they call the left pedal on the right crank, and you can put the right crank on the left pedal. Like, there's really absolutely zero difference. So not sure why they are bothering with such a thing, but there's zero difference between them. They work exactly the same no matter which one you put them on. So in my opinion, you can throw away the little stickers and put them on whichever one you want. I threw mine away and I put them on whichever one I want, and they work fine. So that's one thing I've noticed. The other thing that my particular bike, the rear derailleur specifically, not properly calibrated. So I had to, properly calibrate my rear derailleur. Not a big deal, really, and it works, perfectly now that I have. And then the other thing that I would mention, for people that are buying this bike, that I had a little trouble initially with getting this to close inside of this particular shaft here where the battery sits. There seems to be a couple of little burrs. I think they're from where they put these holes in for the brackets here and underneath as well. So what I did is I just took a file and filed those down, and it does fit better. It's still kind of a tight fit, particularly at this end where the plastic meets the metal. But it does go in there and it does come out of there now. I had a heck of a time getting it out the first time. I actually had to pry it out of there. So if you run into that problem, it's probably sticking on these. That's probably what it is. And if you use like a screwdriver or something to kind of pry it out, you will be able to get it out eventually. But just a little FYI for you. And it's up to you if you want to make an issue out of it with electric or not. I chose not to. It's not that big a deal to me, but it might be to some. So if it is, you might want to get in touch with them about it. Anyway, those are the things that I found. Other than that, the bike works great. All right, gangsters. So we have our e-bikes with us. Today, we're going to go out on what's called the New River Trail State Park Trail. We're out here on a Monday, and because we're retired, we can be out here on a Monday. Yeah. Kind of just see how far we can actually get with these bikes, because we really don't know. We're probably going to run in probably pedal assist level 2, I think, for hers.
Probably 1.
Oh, she says 1. Okay.
I rode over here on 0.
I rode over here on 0 as well. I haven't even turned mine on yet. So, but we're only talking, 150 feet. So anyway, not very far. This is a relatively flat trail. It was, I think, an old railroad bed, correct? Yeah. And it runs kind of mostly along the New River. We're going to try this out and see how it works, and we're going to take you along with us. So here we go.
Sure is a pretty trail. Thankful for the shade. It's a hot day today. And all the views of the New River as you go along. One time we saw an eagle come down and grab a fish out of the water. Whole bunch of Canadian geese out there. Some rapids. And just, beautiful trail. So far it's in very good condition, very smooth, well maintained. We've ridden about 1.5 miles, and I would say it's going to be a beautiful day.
Currently, I've only been using eco mode. I haven't really needed to put it in pedal assist 2.
And I'm learning interesting things about how my bike works.
Want to talk about that?
Sure. So, first of all, on this path, I can pedal in no pedal assist at all. We're following a river. It's relatively flat, mostly slowly downhill. But if I put it in pedal assist 1, it kind of stops assisting if I get up to about 8. In pedal assist 2, I feel like when it starts to kick in, I feel like my bike is taking off with me.
We've never owned e-bikes before, so we don't really know what we're doing. So we're just kind of figuring out as we go and sharing our experience with you, because it's probably going to be, if you haven't had an e-bike before, probably going to be kind of similar, okay? We've only rented them previously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our only other experience with an e-bike, so.
And that was only once.
Yeah. So, but it was enough to convince us that we wanted one.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, it is fun.
It is.
Just saying, it is fun. So if you think it might be fun, it is.
Yep. We're at the Austinville parking area, and we think this is far enough. We think we'll turn around here.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea about where we started and where we are at currently. We started, they don't really show it on the map here, but right around in here, there's a bridge and a store, and the path crosses a road here. They don't show it on this map for some reason, but there is right in here. We got on the trail here, and we went all the way to this point, and then you can either go right to Galax. Because we've been this way before, we went ahead and went this direction. So we started from here, went up to here, and then continued on along here to all the way up to, oops, I'm not filming. I'm not following my hand. My hand is up here. So we went all the way up here to where we're currently at, which is Austinville. So, and then as you can see, it goes on a good bit further. I think the total trail is 38 miles from this point. So from this point all the way up to Pulaski, I guess that's how you say that, is 38 miles. So we're gonna turn around here, but we probably will, once we get back to here, we probably will continue on so we can show you guys the tunnel, which is pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah, so we'll
and
go.
The bridge too.
Yeah, there's a bridge that crosses the creek river here. That's also really cool. So it's an old train trestle. So we'll go across there, show that to you, and then we'll also go through the tunnel because, well, it's just cool.
For anybody that's interested in visiting, again, you know, this is the New River Trail State Park, and there is camping here.
There is camping.
There are vault toilets along the trail.
There are
like rest areas like this that have a shelter and everything.
Yeah, it's a
beautiful
shelter.
place to come.
If you're ever passing through this area near Freeze, by golly, just stop because it's worth it. We just rolled over, my bike just rolled over to 90%, and I'm at 52.5 volts sitting here. And Pam's still showing 100 on her bike, and we have gone a total of
21 miles, 21.7.
21.7 miles. I think the range on these, if your pedal assist is really, really low and you're not pushing hills and stuff a whole lot, is probably a lot further than they say. Some people might be curious to know that. I know I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that we're only at 90%.
We've seen horses, golf carts, utility carts, pedal bikes, and e-bikes. And every here and there along the trail, we see something like this. Stuff growing. Poison ivy. We'll just ignore that.
We have made it to what they call Freeze Junction. It's kind of interesting. This is spelled F-R-I-E-S, but it's pronounced freeze, not fries. So, you know, the people around here will correct you if you say it wrong. So, so yeah. So it's Freeze, Virginia, F-R-I-E-S. So we are at Freeze Junction, and we're gonna take a look at the map and show you where that is on the map. This is where we started at down here, and this is Freeze Junction. But we are coming back from this point.
From Austin.
Yeah, we were up in Austinville, and we rode back down to Freeze Junction, which is where we're currently at, and we're going to take you over to the tunnel because we think it's cool, and we think you'll think it's cool.
Yeah, and we're going to go over the trestle first.
Yes, and we must not forget the train trestle right there.
So, in addition to the beauty, the natural beauty along this trail, there are riverfront campsites. Take a look at this. There's 2 of them here. One of them.
One over there.
And
And one
over there.
over there.
And there's a porta potty and there's a trash thing. So you don't have to carry your trash, you can dump it here.
Cool.
It's $17 for the first night and $12 for the second night. If you take a look, there's nice running water here. Could filter it and be all prepared for camping.
Okay, so we're back to the truck now, and we've gone a little over 30 miles altogether. So,
31 and something.
so it's showing right now 50.2 volts and 70%. And toward the end, I did, because I knew I had so much battery, I went ahead and started playing around with some going turbo and, getting it up to 28 and just kind of playing around basically. So yeah, so I was, I didn't necessarily I wasn't terribly conservative toward the end. I was pretty conservative at the beginning. I think the first mile and a half I didn't even turn on any kind of pedal assist at all, because it, like I said, it's really level. So, and I was just kind of trying to get my bearings, get my, feeling it out. There you go. So all in all, I would say that the range on this is probably really good. I wouldn't be afraid to take it a good long ways. So it seems like it does really well. And if you're the kind of person that likes to pedal, then I would say the Lectric XP4 is a good choice, because it with that torque sensor, you get a more sense of control of the bike yourself. Whereas with the XP Lite 2.0, it kind of feels like it wants to run away with you, sort of. Like you give it just a little tiny bit of pedal, and it's like you smash the throttle. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something that is going to give you that power without having to work, then probably some of the other bikes that Lectric makes that do not have a torque sensor are probably better. If you like to pedal, then the torque sensor is definitely your thing. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, my expert opinion. So we hope the video was helpful, and if it was helpful to you, we would invite you to subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with any future videos that come out. So until next time, gangsters.